pagsisikap. Ang pangako na aming bibitiwan sa lahat ng aming natanggap na pagpapala. Pagpupugay sa lahat ng nagbigay ng pagkilala sa Aliw Broadcasting Corporation mula sa Philippine Outstanding Brand of the Year, Philippine Finest Business Awards, and Outstanding Achievement, Asia Pacific Luminaire Awards, Southeast Asian Premier Business and Achiever Award. Sa aming mga natanggap, 4-time Best AM Station Awardee, DWIZ 882, 4-time Best Radio Newscaster Awardee, Dennis Antenor Jr., 3-time Best FM Station Awardee, Home Radio 97.9, 2-time Most Promising TV Station Awardee, Aliw Channel 23, at Best Public Service Radio Host Awardee, Bragi Braganza. Pangakong itutuloy ang pagbibigay ng tamang balita at tamang paglilingkod at isang malaking pasasalamat sa tiwalang naibigay sa amin. Pakaasahan yung gagawin naming malaking inspirasyon ito para ipagpatuloy ang maglingkod sa lahat ng Pilipino.
Ang lahat ng opinyon, pagtingin, pananaw o kuro-kuro ng mga bisita at panauhin o mga anchors o host sa programang ito ay sarili at tanging opinyon at pananaw ng mga nabanggit at hindi opinyon o pananaw ng Aliw Broadcasting Corporation, mga producers o mga namamahala ng Aliw Broadcasting o anumang organisasyon na affiliated sa network at kailanman ay hindi iniendorso ng Aliw Broadcasting Corporation ang mga nabanggit na opinyon at pananaw sa programa.
Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best.
Moving forward kami sa Sulong Na Bayan. Ang inyong paboritong public service program ay susulong na naman. Maririnig kami sa bagong time slot na alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Sa prime time slot na ito, higit na maraming listeners at viewers ang aabuti ng aming iba't ibang segments tulad ng Gospel Verse a Day, balita sa special sectors tulad ng OFW, senior citizens, Chinoy community at iba pang makabuluhang sektor. Makakasama ang veteran journalist na si Loli Acosta. Mabuhay! Sulong Na Bayan!
At mapagpalang hapon po sa ating mga tagapakinig. Welcome po sa ating programang Sulong Na Bayan. Nako, pasulong po ang ating bayan. Nakita nyo ang Vietnam na una na, ang Cambodia na una na. Huwag naman nating antayin ang Sri Lanka at Ethiopia ay mauna pa. Why? Nandito po sa atin ang napakagagaling at napakahusay at napaka-innovative na mga business women. So ang tatalakayin natin, empowerment ng ating kababaihan. So let's welcome to our program. Sila na po ang magbabahagi. Ano po ang kanilang area of expertise? Miss Irene Meher, ang founder ng The Eco Shift, and Miss Mel Migrino, the Philippine Country Head ng Go Go Look. You first greet everyone. Mel, welcome back. I think you came from...
Thank you, Miss Loli, for another invitation. So, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. So, happy to be here again.
Ayan, ako marami kang i-share sa atin dahil yan ang kailangan natin maintindihan, lalong-lalo na sa hanay ng kababaihan. Sabi nila kasi ay hanggang alam mo na like sa Japan parang ang babae medyo na dominant pa rin ang men. But syempre dito sa atin, hindi na pwedeng ganun. We have to work, all of us. Go ahead and greet everyone, Miss Irene.
Magandang hapon sa ating mga tagapakinig. Thank you again, Miss Loli, for inviting me. Nice to meet you, Mel. So I'm excited to our current session. Yeah, what we're gonna talk about today.
Okay, syempre, kailangan natin, no two individuals are alike. Iba-iba ang areas of expertise. So, pag pinagsama mo, then unity, there's strength. Ito na, women. Kailangan ma-empower natin yung mga nakikinig sa atin, lalong-lalo na Miss Irene and Miss Mel, dito sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Kasi ang dami nilang skills, ang tatalino nila. On top of, syempre, mga ano ba yan, yung multitasker, kahit sila ay may sariling respective na trabaho sa kanilang area of responsibilities dyan sa Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, pero pwede pa rin silang makapag trabaho ng sideline. So we want to empower them. Paano yun? Firstly, let me just ask you first, Mel, ano ba ibig sabihin ng women empowerment?
Okay, sige. Well, it seemed to be like a common question, di ba? Pero kung titignan po natin, parang it entails a lot. So, well, I think for me, no, based sa mga pinagdaanan ko,
Okay,
based sa mga
experience,
pinagdaanan ko,
sure.
ayan. So, women empowerment, well, I guess number one is for us women, ano, regardless of our age, di ba?
sure.
Miss Loli, and of course, to our partner Irene, no? So, it's really about like being able to actually influence. So, that's one.
Influencer.
Oo. So and when we influence, hindi lang ito yung nagi-influence tayo doon sa workplace.
Okay.
Basically,
Where?
you are a good influencer, you are an effective communicator within your group of friends. Siyempre, kasama na dyan yung sa work. And also, within your family.
Okay.
So yun yung sinasabi doon. And since you are an influencer, 'di ba? So parang tinitignan mo na parang you also make your own choices eventually, and by making your own choices, technically you define your path. So I guess yun yung sinasabi, well, at least for me, no, yun yung
Okay,
sinasabi
you
ko na
define your
you
path.
are an empowered women, 'di ba? So actually maraming empowered women sa society natin. That's the one that is really good to know, no.
Yan. Nako, excited tayo, no, to look forward to those na talagang mag-share sa atin ng mga kanya-kanyang experiences in the next future episodes. So what's your definition naman, Irene, of women empowerment?
Okay, just to add to what Mel said, yung women empowerment is the ability to make choices. For me, yun talaga yun. Because when you say someone is not empowered, meaning to say wala silang choice. You see this abused women, or you see this they lack the opportunity, so they can say, I don't have the choice, and then they would end up doing things na instead na ma-progress sila, hindi na sila wala na silang, kumbaga, the options and the opportunities sa kanila is very small. So for a woman to be empowered, all these things, the ability to make a choice, to make an informed decision without fear of harm, and then without fear of, how do you call this, ng ma-ostracize ka sa society. Very important yon. Like, you know, a lot of women, I don't want to do this because society will shun me.
Right.
Like, I will no longer be
Cast out.
accepted. Yeah. So that's very common. And before, women does not have these things.
Okay.
There were
Parang hindi naman natin naging tana yan sa Tagalog, ano? Parang dinidismiss natin dati yung ganyang, na cast out or hindi tayo kasali.
Yes,
Parang we belong pa
oo.
nga eh. So what?
example, yung right lang to vote. You know, I was thinking about this.
Suffrage.
Very recent lang naman tayo nakakapag-vote, di ba? Tapos sa babae, parang we take it for granted na, vote, hindi mo pa ina-exercise. Imagine the amount of work na ginawa ng women before us for us to be able to experience na
Ancestors
ganito.
na.
Like, we're here sitting down, tapos you can work, you can even like withdraw money from the bank. Before, you cannot even open a bank account without your husband. Diba? So, that's for me, that's like really just the ability to be able to do these
on your
things. Yeah. And yun yung women empowerment. Because once you are empowered, then you can forge, that's what Mel was saying, a life na you wanted to lead.
A life that you would satisfy you. Kasi kaya ka ngayon nag-work, ano. But
Yes.
is it alright if I tell everyone that you're a single parent?
Yeah, sure.
Kaya napaka empowered ito eh. Imagine, sa kanya yung role ng dalawa. The dad and the mom. Hindi ganun po kasimple. So, in your case, ayan. Ganyan siya katapang. Di ba? Chill pero matapang yan. So, ayun nga. Because single parent ka, anong mga parang challenges?
Dami talaga.
Hindi kita papaiyakin ha. Pero basta share it with us para lang.
Challenges. Marami. Una-una, paano mo pataguyod yung dalawang mong anak?
Dalawang bata.
Second would be, of course, you're a woman, you also have needs. You want to date, you want to meet people. And for a while, for me, you have to, sa society, nung time na yon, it was a little bit, it's not often talked about. But now, of course, hindi na
Open
siya
na.
okay na. Oo. But before, like, also at the back of your head, you have to think, why is this guy dating me? Is it because this guy thinks I'm easy because I already have children? May mga ganon. So, number one. Number two would be, of course, you have to send your kids to school. You have to provide for them. And the third one would be, am I enough? di ba? As a parent. Like, will my children turn out okay? And then every time there's an issue, you don't have kasama. Di ba? Like, who's gonna...
Dapat dalawa kayo nagde-decide how to
Exactly,
rear and raise the
oo.
children.
So, di ba pag parent, merong good cop, bad cop.
Bad,
Dito,
right.
wala. It's either you're good or you're, I don't know. So, but, on the positive side, nandun yung you are the only one who will influence your children. Ganon
You're the
siya.
boss.
So, yun na, parang pag nakita mo, direct, mo na yun, it's your, responsibility.
Naku, tough girl, ano? Sige, ikaw naman, Mel. As a woman industry leader, have you experienced ba any case of gender stereotyping?
Okay. So, I think yung gender stereotyping, well, it's being experienced here in the Philippines, no? Pero, depende din kasi yan eh. Like, your mental well-being,
Okay.
diba? As well as your character. Well, in my case, medyo strong kasi yung personality ko.
So, parang...
Yun, medyo strong kasi yung
Parang Irene
personality
din eh.
ko. And then, so,
Saka independent
parang,
woman ka eh.
yeah, so I drive things. So, I think in my case, hindi ko siya talaga na-experience, no? Or kung ma-experience ko man siya, I think it's more of, alam mo yun, it's
Ready
like
ka.
you are resilient enough, 'di ba? Na para makabangon ka, ganyan. Hindi yung parang iindahin mo siya for the longest time because you've experienced this. And then, 'di ba yung mga iba, they practically lose self-confidence because of that.
Nadadampen
Yes.
yung kanilang mga...
But in some other parts of
dreams.
the world, maraming nakaka-experience nan. In fact, sa amin, like let's say in the perspective of women in cybersecurity, we even have a chat group. So it's practically
To address.
parang represented by different women leaders across the globe. And then one of the things that we have talked about is about gender stereotyping. And sa totoo lang, nahihirapan sila to actually move on and eventually, progress in their careers. Kasi I guess at some
Parang
point, it
nakastuck
goes
sila
here
doon.
eh.
Oo.
Yeah. Parang it goes here and then
And then the
meron
heart.
din impact dito. So that's making
So how
it
do you
really
address
difficult.
that? You guys have been...
Well, gender stereotyping, well, siguro just to share, so within that global women cybersecurity leaders, we were able to come up with parang more of a mentor and coaching program.
So merong counseling
Oo.
or
Yes,
mentoring?
meron siya talagang counseling, pero mahirap eh kasi 'di ba,
Mm-hmm.
for a mentoring or let's say even a coaching program,
Okay.
for it to be successful, kinakailangan kasi ma-develop yung trust.
Sure.
'Di ba? There has to be a trust between you as the mentor and your mentee. Kasi pag walang trust, so parang baka hindi rin masyadong mag-open up, 'di ba? Yung magiging mentee mo. So, I think yun yung una naming prioritize, like how to develop like a smooth relationship between the mentor and mentee. And then, so after nun, syempre, si mentee mo, mag-start siya mag-open, sasabihin niya sa'yo, what are, let's say, her challenges. So you need to, kumbaga parang wala siyang one size fits all na strategy. So depende kung ano yung mga current challenges niya. So that's practically the one that you really need to address. So kung ito ba is tipong marunong naman siya, practitioner naman siya, pero nawala siya ng self-confidence or baka naman may nangbubuli talaga sa kanya sa office or baka naman naka-experience siya ng sexual harassment. We wouldn't know. So yung mga ganon. But actually hindi ko alam, like have you heard like here in the Philippines there is already like a traumatology, para ako nag-tongue twister. Traumatology Institute.
Really? That's good to hear.
Yeah, so
Oo, parang
actually
mga naka-experience ng
like
trauma.
if you are in LinkedIn, so let's say sino ba to? Si Dr. Charlene Lucas is a very good friend,
Okay.
no? So Dr. Charlene Lucas is actually in that area.
Alright.
So it's really more about healing. Ayun. Pero ini-extend niya yan. Kasama na dyan pati yung mga nabibiktima ng mga online
Bullying.
sexual abuse, bullying. And even more so, and even the perspective of human trafficking.
Yan, nako, ang haba niyan. But syempre, Irene, gusto ko rin, same experiences kay Mel. Meron na iba na ikaw na experience ng gender stereotyping?
Actually, makarelate ako kay Mel. Kasi, when I started, I was really into sales. So more on men talaga siya, men na
Men's job.
environment. Tsaka we call on doctors. Ang doctors naman before, mostly male din.
Lalaki din.
Oo. Pero like what you're saying, hindi ko siya na directly ako, hindi ko siya na-experience. And I heard stories na it felt like I was harassed or I didn't get the job because I was stereotyped into,
right.
because I'm a woman, I was not doing, I'm not supposed, I mean, I did not meet
Skillful as
expectations,
them.
yung ganyan. Hindi ko siya na-experience. Although, I know for a fact, though, na I have to work twice as hard. Oo.
Like
Yun lang.
when?
I have to work twice as hard simply because, like, in meeting rooms, usually, minority. But the one thing that I really love about being a Filipina and being a Filipino, and I'm always proud of this every time I go out and meet a lot of women who are not Filipinos,
Okay.
is
Foreigners.
how powerful women are here in the
Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah, especially in the workplace. We don't have that much wide of a gap. We have a lot of female leaders. Mel, for example. We even have like how many women presidents. So
Already.
so that's like very rare. Like there's a lot of countries who does not have that.
That
So
kind.
we're very lucky, and I'm very happy to be like, a Filipina
Associated,
being brought here, and I had the opportunities. But what I have noticed though, 20 years ago, of course, there are jokes, yung mga remarks na you wouldn't really mind kasi it was like a norm. But then looking back, isipin mo, that's no longer acceptable now. Pero before, because you thrive in that environment, you have learned to deflect it. You deflect na, kaya he doesn't mean it, na ganyan. So in the boardroom, if you have meetings, may mga jokes na, today, in this environment, hindi na yun acceptable Pero before, it was like, okay
Very
lang,
obvious.
yes. So yun lang. So I'm also happy that my children, because they're women, they have that already. But I've seen also social experiments na hindi pa rin naman tayo safe, not for women here, but we have come a long way.
We've come a long way.
Yes,
Ang
yes.
ganda
I
rin.
strongly agree.
We have
Diba?
come a long way.
Parang ano yan nasa advertisement yata yan. Pero that's the term. Kasi
Yes.
hindi na tayo gano'n na yung ating mga skills and other attributes, kaya if he can do it, I can do it better. Sabi nga
Exactly.
nila, no? But syempre hindi naman gano'n. We still have to submit. Biblical pa rin yan, no? Sinasabi, girls, submit to your spouses and all. Pero again, ito yung freedom of expression Kaya mo naman pala Hindi makakatulong ka pa. So again, ito naman, based on your combined experience and skills, kasi napaka-skillful nitong si Miss Mel, na hindi ganun kadali yung IT Medyo, sa totoo lang, hats off ako kasi
Chamba lang yun,
diba?
Miss Lloyd.
Hindi. Kasi, yan,
Skill
iniimbita
yun.
na siya. Chill
Yeah.
talaga. Iniimbita siya in different parts of ASEAN countries at saka may mga award. Decorated siya with awards because itong kanyang IT. So, hindi ganun kasimple dahil ako. Kaya ako nag-journalism kasi walang numbers dyan, tsaka walang masyadong komplikasyon. Pero, gawan mo akong IT course, di ko na yata kaya. So, ayan, based on your combined experience and skills, what defines a woman?
Okay, sige. Magba-backtrack ako. Kasi, it's like si Irene kanina, meron siyang sharing like
Sure.
being a single parent.
Oo. Yan.
Ako kasi, hindi ako
Habaan
nabiyayaan
yan.
ng anak.
Okay.
Yun.
Yeah,
So, siguro ngayon nyo lang yan nalaman, no?
We learn something new every day.
Yun.
Yes.
So, yun. So,
And we're telling the
ayan.
whole world.
Yes. So,
Go.
ayan, Miss Lodi. So, hindi ako nabiyayaan yan. So, I guess sa akin, I have a different perspective on that. I think, so, kumbaga para mong sinabi parang what defines you as a woman or ano ba yung essence mo practically, di ba?
Right.
Well, I
Yung
think
katotohanan.
for me,
Mhm.
it's really about fulfilling my calling. And what is that calling?
Okay.
That calling is practically to serve the community. Yun. So that's the reason also like why I wanted to establish women digital risk leaders. Pero kasi nag-evolve na din Kasi 'di ba parang tayo dapat we highly support DEI.
Okay.
So kumbaga parang mapa babae yan, mapa lalaki yan, dapat suportahan natin.
Yes.
So yun yung first and foremost sa akin it's really about fulfilling my calling.
Okay.
And in fulfilling my calling, so yun din yung way ko to serve God. So, ayun, but of course the others is really about like if you wanted to excel on this, I mean, it doesn't really like doesn't really count to me, no. And then I guess the second one is that we try to be role models, and in being a role model, you get to develop leaders with not just who are capable, but I guess who's really born out of excellence, di ba? Integrity, commitment, ayun, ganun. Kasi what really defines you as a person, it's really your integrity naman, di ba? At the end
Credibility, integrity, mahirap kasi magtiwala eh. But again, ikaw, lalo na sa businesses mo na inumpisahan, Irene, what defines a woman? Anong yung
Lalim
take?
talaga ng tanong.
Kasi ang
The
dami mong
essence of a
experience.
woman yan.
Oo, di ba? Ano talaga?
Miss Universe. Yeah, parang when you define, how do you define a woman ba? Because we have like so many facets.
Right.
Diba? Parang, so you have to be strong, at the same time soft. So you have to be all of this. Personally, it's more, what I stand for is more of how you are to be emulated in a way, because
To
diba,
follow
like,
you.
yes, some people would follow, and then you are like an
Inspired.
example of the younger generation. So that's what I wanted to strive for, basically. But it doesn't necessarily define me as a woman, but it's something that I wanted to be.
Share.
Yeah, like that's my legacy as a woman. Like, when a young girl looks at what I do and like hears my story, and then they're struggling or they're successful, they have like some sort of figure, like they think of you and then they anchor on it that, oh, she did it, and she's not even like she's popular or whatnot, but like she's like a common person. She was able to navigate through life in all of this. So that's something that I really wanted to do. I don't think I have actually defined the skills of a woman and what defines it, but yeah, for me that's really important, and it's what builds you being as a woman, what sets you apart.
Yeah, I think the self-worth. Kasi
Yes.
gusto mong pakita yan sa younger generation who would want to be like you eventually. So, what is the worth of a woman like you? And you've shown it, exhibited it. So, parang leadership by example. And they'll emulate and look at you. No?
Yes.
Tsaka siguro, Miss Loli, yung like what you do would really come from the heart. Hindi yung parang you're doing it just to show off or whatever. Diba?
O, mahirap din yan. Coming from the heart. Kasi ang dami kong kilala hindi coming from the heart.
Hindi kami.
Hindi, biro lang. So,
Next episode ba yan, Miss
ayan.
Loli?
part 2. But yun nga. So, again, as I said earlier, si Miss Mel, I'm not bragging about her attributes and all, pero kasi known naman yan sa amin sa industry. How did you become a known female figure in the region, lalo na sa Southeast Asia? Share it to
Well,
us.
I guess one is siguro yung opportunity for you to lead like at the regional level. Kasi ako yung lagi kong sinasabi, 'di ba? Kumbaga parang you could have the funding, you could have the resources, you could have the
Logistics and all.
skills, 'di ba? Pero pag hindi ka nabigyan ng opportunity, pag hindi ka nabigyan ng
Wala
chance,
rin.
I mean, how will you actually share, 'di ba?
Implement.
Like what's actually inside you, or how can you share your knowledge or experience, how can you hone people, 'di ba? So I guess yun yung number one. So I was like given several roles, I mean among like different companies. Syempre
Okay.
medyo matanda na din ako, ganun. 'Di ba? So,
Like, what are these? Oo.
yeah, among
The
different
roles.
'di ba, like companies to actually lead at the regional level. And then, so since I have this passion to serve the community, doon ko siya sinabay. And then, pero hindi siya natapos doon eh. Kasi, if you want to like, contribute on a greater scale, diba? So you also need to establish your network, or rather expand your network outside of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Diba?
Not just
So,
in the
yan.
Philippines.
So Malaysia, Singapore,
ASEAN
Thailand.
countries.
So yan yon. And then hindi lang yung pag-expand nung network mo, no, but you really need to like contribute, like give it time na parang to support what they're doing.
Ayun.
So more of that.
Okay, when we come back, tatanungin naman natin si Irene. What's the best, siguro, how to be an empowered woman? Kasi napaka-strong at saka kitang-kita natin kay Irene that she's able to handle all these mga challenges and all. So, tell us how to be an empowered woman. That's what you will answer when we return. Meanwhile, we have to pause for a quick break. The Philippine Standard Time is 5:26 in the afternoon.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong Na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya. At malay mo mapanalunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live stream bingo sa Pinas. Bingo Plus. Bingo sa saya plus sa panalo. Gaming for 21 years old and above only. Visit pagcor.ph/regulatory or email keepitfun@pagcor.ph. Game responsibly. Keep it fun. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya. At malay mo mapanalunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live stream bingo sa Pinas. Bingo Plus. Bingo sa saya plus sa panalo. Gaming for 21 years old and above only. Visit pagcor.ph/regulatory or email keepitfun@pagcor.ph. Game responsibly. Keep it fun.
Download Bingo Plus app now on Google Play and Apple App Store for a chance to win up to 312 million pesos jackpot prize. Visit bingoplus.com to learn more. With Bingo Plus, bingo sa saya, plus sa panalo. Gaming is for 21 years old and above only. Game responsibly. Keep it fun.
Ang mga balita, dudublehin ang pasada. Ang mga kontrobersyal, mga viral, mga trending na mga tao. Dalawang mas matinding papasadahan. Mga pangyayaring nakikita sa kalsada. Live na papasadahan. Tambalang John Evanez at Drew Nasino. Doble ang lakas, doble ang tindi. DWIZ Pasada Balita sa DWIZ News, DWIZ News TV at Aliw Channel 23 at sa digital channels ng DWIZ. Huwag magpapaiwan para huwag maunahan. Pasada Balita Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. Pagsapit ng alas 12 bago ka mag-lunch o kaya nagla-lunch ka. Dagdagan pa ang mga alam mo para hindi ka naman huli sa balita. Live sa DWIZ Manila at sa lahat ng DWIZ News FM sa buong Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. At mapapanood ng live sa Aliw 23 Free TV at sa lahat ng digital channel ng DWIZ. Ang Balitang Bayan. Mga balitang nangyari lang at kasalukuyang nangyayari. Balitang Bayan. Kasama ang opisyal na tagagising ng bayan, si Drew Nasino. Di ka aantukin kapag nalaman mo na ang latest sa Balitang Bayan. Sa patuloy na pagbabalita ng tama at paglilingkod ng tama. Balitang Bayan. Araw-araw, 12 noon. Papalakas ng papalakas, palinaw ng palinaw, mga balita at impormasyong naiintindihan dahil malinaw mong nalaman. Tutok lang sa DWIZ mula umaga hanggang gabi. Updated on air and online. DWIZ, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Ang balitang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best.
Latest, pinakabago at tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Pilipinas, narito na po mga tamang balita sa oras na ito. Pamahalaan sang-ayon na lagyan ng timer ang lahat ng traffic lights kasunod ng implementasyon ng NCAP. Alamin ang detalye mula kay Patrol 13 Gilbert Perdez.
Walang pagtutol si DOTR Secretary Vince Dizon sa paglalagay ng timer sa mga traffic lights lalo na umiiral na ang implementasyon ng No Contact Apprehension o NCAP. Sa briefing sa Malacanang, sinabi ni Dizon na importante ang pagkakaroon ng timer na konektado na rin sa mga naka-install na mga CCTV. Sa ganito na rin anyang ginagamit sa ibang bansa na kung saan ay kaya na ng Artificial Intelligence o AI na i-program ang mga timer depende sa dami ng mga sasakyan. Magdadepende ayon kay Dizon ang tagal ng itatakdang oras ng AI sa timer sa volume naman ng mga sasakyang dumadaan sa mga kalsada. Kaugnay nito ay sinabi ng kalihim lihim na MMDA ang may saklaw dito at siguradoan niyang may ginagawa ng hakbang ang ahensya hinggil sa nabanggit na usapin. Patrol 13, Gilbert Perdes para sa Himpilang May Todong Las, DWIZ. Nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
At iyan ang mga tamang balita sa mga oras na ito. Mag-follow at subscribe sa lahat ng DWIZ News digital channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, DWIZ News app at DWIZ News website. Ako po si Gia Rafael, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Oras-oras nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Ang balitang ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best. DWIZ! Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong Na Bayan! Sa DWIZ 882.
Alright, nagbabalik mo muli ang ating programang Sulong Na Bayan. Pasulong na pasulong po. Imagine, meron tayong napaka-husay at napaka-achiever ng mga panauhin today. At sila ay kababaihan, kaya yun po yung ating usapin, women empowerment. So the hanging question before we pause for a break, addressed to you, Miss Irene, how to be an empowered woman. Napakarami ng experience mo. Kaya ako'y saludo rin sa'yo. Because as a single mom, it's not as simple as easy as what people think.
Yeah. How to be an empowered woman. It's first, no, it starts with education. So I really believe in education. Now, if you don't have access to education, that would mean that your government failed you.
Okay.
So education, but education doesn't end in schools lang. So like for example, of course you need to read a lot and learn. You consume as much information as possible. Because why is education so important? Because you will see kung ano yung options that you have. Second would be, you have to earn. The ability to have money of your own. Yung the ability to make a living. A lot of women fall into the trap. Kasi ako, my idea of being empowered is the ability to make decisions on your own, diba? Na you don't have to rely on someone for your basic needs. So with that alone, kung meron kang income, then you would have the power to choose and kung ano yung gusto mong gawin and no one would tell you to do otherwise. Yan talaga, yung financial aspect is very
Mabigat yun,
important. Yes, that's why when you get
Purchasing power
married,
ka.
it's nice to be married and then stay-at-home mom. Sobrang
wife.
bilib ako sa stay-at-home mom. But it's also, you have to set aside money na
Budget.
personal, na sa'yo, na no one can take it away from you. There's, I don't know kung ako lang ba, but there's, it will make me really insecure if I don't have...
You don't earn your own.
Yeah, I don't earn my
So
keep.
dapat ba yun? You have to earn on your own kahit conjugal properties and all, magkasama kayo?
I strongly
You strongly
suggest
suggest.
that you earn your own keep. It doesn't have to be as much as, of course, your partner. Because the partner naman in our society, their role is to provide, diba? To provide for basic needs.
Provider.
Tapos ikaw naman, your role is to nurture. Kung yun yung traditional way of looking at how families work. But you have to earn your own keep. So, why? Because unang-una, earning your own keep is establishes discipline. At the same time, it makes you part of the society that you are in. Hindi ka like shielded, and hindi ka prone to abuse because you know that anytime you can just pack up and leave. Magkaiba kasi it's different kasi when you're there because you choose to be there, and then you're there because you do not have a choice. And that for me is the difference between being empowered and not being empowered.
So which of the two?
You have to be there. I'm here because I choose to be here.
Okay, that's your
diba?
choice.
So, hindi yung, kasi pinilit lang ako or kasi wala kasi akong pera, hindi ako makalabas. And for you to be able to earn your own keep, you have to be educated. Diba?
At saka meron kang short and long-term goals, I suppose.
Exactly. The short and long-term goals, I'm thinking about the ones who do not have that choice here. Because I've talked to a lot of women who were, they do not have the enough opportunities. And then some of them naman, they're very educated, pero they made napunta sila doon sa isang relationship na medyo abusive na pero ang one thing that's really keeping them is they do not have enough that yung financially dependent. So that's
Bottom line pa rin
something
yan,
oo, doon talaga papasok doon sa financial
self-confidence.
independence. Yes. And yun kanina na mention mo ma'am yung self-confidence si Mel din isang
Work on it.
detrimental din yun but how can you build self-confidence if you're not educated, hindi ka nga marunong mag-read, I mean puro ka na lang scroll sa TikTok ganon.
Yeah,
Sa
you have
TikTok naman meron namang STEM doon, pwede ka rin
learn.
ma-educate, diba?
No, but different, when
Different
you're
generation.
educated.
Yes, oo. So yun yung
And you are yourself, I'm sure.
I'm
Hindi
sorry.
you don't pretend to be somebody else.
yes,
Kaya empowered to eh.
authentic ka.
Oo.
You're
Yeah,
true.
genuine.
Genuine.
So you have to be really genuine as well. Pero yung authenticity
Sure.
takes a long time to build ha. Because when you're, di ba ma'am, when you're younger, you
Iba
wanted
yung
to please a lot of people. Like, I have to please my parents, I have to please my professors, I have to do well. So that's okay. Like if you're 20 years old and you're listening to this, it's okay to be trying to figure out who you are until you'd be able to get in touch with who you actually are. But in a way be authentic. You just be as real as you can be. Strive. It's a long process.
Or do you, of course, I'm sure you've done this, getting out of your comfort zone. Kasi,
Oo.
kailangan maka-provide ka din eh. Wala si mister, wala si nobody to help you. So, a lot
Super
of times,
painful. Yeah. For example, you have to getting out of your comfort zone if in terms of increasing income kasi 'di ba you have your expense. Ako naniniwala kasi ako pag may expense ka, dalawa lang 'yan, mag-increase ka ng income or magbawas ka ng expense. Mahirap magbawas ng expense ha. So mag-increase ka ng income. So benta ka dito, benta ka doon, kung ano man yung racket. Believe talaga ako sa mga actually yung women sa Pilipinas ang hilig talagang
Galing.
rumakit. Kahit kanino ba.
racketeer.
Yes, they have
Resourceful.
hustle
Super.
culture. So
Regardless.
taas talaga believe talaga ako sa ganyan because it means they're not just sitting there, they're doing something and to be able to afford the life that they want.
right.
Now, yung iba they don't want to do it kasi nakakahiya. So that's like out of your comfort zone na. Like even just like posting when I started post ako sa Facebook, sinasabi mo, Sherin, yung post ito, puro na lang eco-shift sa feed ko daw. Ay, wala eh. Kasi
Siyempre,
I have
yun
to
ang
reach out
gusto
with
mo.
my family, friends and family because they're your first customers, diba? So they have to see. But, a lot of people cannot do that kasi yung iba introvert, diba? They don't want to expose themselves. But even if you're an introvert, you still have a lot of things that you can do.
In other words, enlarge your vision. Don't settle for
Exactly,
mediocrity. Kasi,
Yes.
di ba? Kailangan above. Ikaw naman, Miss Mel, how to be an empowered woman? What's your take?
All of the above na
Give us something else.
Well, I guess for me, it's like not just being at par, but going beyond on the entitlement of men. So that is like you as a woman, you are an empowered woman. So of course, kumbaga parang you have equal access
Opportunities.
to what they have, 'di ba? And since you're an empowered woman, so nasabi ko kanila like going beyond, meaning if you are really deserving, then you get the title, or let's say you get the position,
Deserve
or let's
the
say you get
position.
the role. Well, I guess for me, siguro one thing that I wanted to share, I give chance to women kasi nga,
Okay.
'di ba, parang we wanted to develop them, 'di ba? And eventually assume leadership roles. Pero kasi to me, meron din akong sense of objectivity diyan eh.
Okay.
So let's say you are trying to hire, 'di ba? You're trying to hire someone to fill in a manager position. So
Okay.
regardless if it's a technology or non-tech, 'di ba?
right.
So you have a candidate na male and female.
Okay.
I
Sino
think
dyan?
ako, hindi naman ako sobrang bias na, ay kasi kapwa ko to babae, 'di ba? Pwede ko namang turuan. Ito na lang yung i-hire ko, 'di ba, to assume the managerial role. As compared to the other candidate, 'di ba, who happens to be a male, pero more experience, and nakikita ko
skill.
naman can also be like a female, alam mo yun, parang a female champion, 'di ba? Parang ganon. So, kung ako yon, let's say kung ako yung decision maker, I would rather choose
Yung
like
tuturuan mo.
hiring the male.
The male.
The male.
Okay.
Bakit? Kasi
Experience.
advocate din, so I'm advocating DEI. So so that's the point that I'm trying to drive.
Okay.
Hindi porke babae ka. So may 'di ba, parang I have na my bias ay kasi babae siya, 'di ba? Kasi posibleng yes, babae siya, pero she is not prepared for the role.
Not yet.
So kumbaga ang sinasabi ko doon, you need to strike a balance, and striking that balance, 'di ba, and having that sense of objectivity is also a characteristic of you being an empowered woman.
Yun. So that's how you would be, teaching male teaching everyone listening right now how to be an empowered woman. Kailangan you strike a balance, ano? Hindi ganun. Kasi women empowerment may be defined sa iba-ibang method
True.
din, ano?
Very true.
So kasama na dyan yung making an effort to seek them and raising the status of women through education, sabi nga ni Irene, awareness, literacy, equal status in society. Bakit a big deal, gangho tayo masyado sa status ng men and women?
Is it?
Go
Sige,
ahead.
Go ahead.
I think it's more of, it's not really equality. We're
Okay.
fighting for equity.
Okay.
It's really
In
more,
layman's term, what is it? Pantay?
Job application.
Okay,
So,
muna.
I agree based on skill kasi you hire based on skill, diba?
Sure.
But sa akin naman, if same ng skill set, who would you
Ay, oo
prefer?
naman,
Diba?
of
You
course.
choose the
Yes,
woman.
yes.
It's kasi same, like, syempre.
Pareho namang skillful.
Yeah, ganun, siguro sa equity is both of you have the same chances of getting that role.
True.
Okay.
So, it's na, hindi siya, kasi may privilege naman, innate na advance na yung isa, diba? As much as possible,
Experience.
i-shorten mo ng konti. So, yun yung fina-fight siguro natin sa generation na yun, na equity, na I can do as a woman, hindi ako, porket babae, hindi ako pwedeng bigyan ng opportunity maging manager, I can do it naman.
Yeah.
Diba?
Right.
So, bakit siya? Sabihin, kasi ito hindi nagma-maternity leave. That's a no-no. Diba?
Wala siya.
But admittedly, there are companies who are
Already,
who practically think like that.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yes,
Meron
yeah.
yan.
Nawala.
Nag-i-evolve.
Tapos, ito hindi magli-leave kasi walang yaya. If you remember, if you have children, tapos you're in a family setting, the woman always takes the second, kasi, they're always the first one to let go of the job kasi I have to take care of my children. So, nawala na agad yung skills development, skills
Stop.
development.
Na-hinder.
Exactly. So if I'm working for 5 years and Mel is like, let's just say Mel is a guy and is also working for 5 years. In that 5 years, 2 years nag-stop ako kasi I have to raise my kids.
Sure.
So si Mel, na-promote
Tuloy.
na siya, nag-increase na yung skill set niya. Ako, babalik ulit ako when I come back kasi nawala na ako ng skill set. So how do we as a society, how do we cater to being a mom and then being like pursuing our goals as well, because ito na yung essence of a woman. I am just not one person. I have a lot of things also going on na I wanted to pursue.
Sure.
I think
ano
siguro Miss Loli, I would just want to jump off from what Irene mentioned. So, doon pumapasok yung yung having a male sponsor or a sponsor for that matter, no? And of course, the opportunity, kasi hindi mo talaga pwedeng sabihin na, uy, matagal ka magpo-progress kasi, 'di ba, parang nag-maternity leave ka, tas nag-extend ka pa.
Iwanan ka na.
Tapos when you assume work, parang lagi kang nagli-leave, mas gusto mo lagi work from home, RTO na ngayon, 'di ba? It can't be like that. I think it has to be seen on a very objective manner and accept the how would I say it? Accept the nuances or the complications or whatever, like, 'di ba? Kung ano yung inherent to women, 'di ba? And then don't take it like
Like
a
this.
negative point, 'di ba? Against
Constructive.
against the other party.
Right. So nandun pa rin yung inspiration na you won't get hindered. Tuloy lang. Okay, when we come back, napakabilis na ating usapin. Tatanungin ko ulit si Miss Mel, itong some of the programs on women and youth empowerment you have spearheaded, ano? And si Irene din, baka meron din ikaw ma-share sa atin dating sa youth because your children are nasa millennials at hindi, nasa Gen Z sila eh. Oo. So we need our audience to hear that. But we have to pause for another break. The Philippine Standard Time is 5:45 in the afternoon.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong Na Bayan sa DWIZ 882. Narito na ang Filipino Mirror, ang unang tabloid sa negosyo. Nagtatampok ng mga eksklusibong balita at impormasyon ng pagtatagumpay sa negosyo. Ang tabloid na nagbibigay ng gabay at inspirasyon sa pag-unlad at pag-asenso. Filipino Mirror, naglalaman ng mga nagbabagang balita, napapanahong issue, may init na opinyon at komentaryo. Filipino Mirror, ang unang tabloid sa negosyo. Pinarangalan ng Gawad Tanglaw bilang natatanging pahayagan sa 3 magkakasunod na taon at marami pang pagkilala. Kaya bumili na at magbasa ng Filipino Mirror ng umasenso sa pagnenegosyo.
Come on, let's go to Isuzu Jaguars. You won't regret it. Come on, let's go to Isuzu Jaguars. We've got your back. Isuzu Jaguars, your partner through it all. Isuzu Jaguars, Isuzu Jaguars, Isuzu Jaguars. Let's journey together.
Visit Isuzu Gencars Makati, Isuzu Santa Rosa, Isuzu Batangas Santo Tomas, Isuzu Batangas City, Isuzu San Pablo, Isuzu Legazpi, and Isuzu Naga. DWIZ! Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong Na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Right, nagbabalik po muli ang ating programang Sulong Na Bayan. And our last 13 minutes, napakabilis ng ating usapin. Napakasarap kasing pag-usapan, lalo na sa ating hanay ng kababaihan. So when I was asking Miss Mel ang kanyang mga programs on women and youth empowerment na naumpisahan mo na. Can you share it to us?
Yeah, so
You've spearheaded actually.
On a local context, no. So my non-profit organization, the Women in Security Alliance Philippines, or WISHAP, so we launched the Juana Tech. So
Okay,
no
Juana
Juana
Tech.
is left behind. Digital
ganda.
literacy.
Right.
Yeah. So this one is of course being launched together with of course Miss Loli, ang ating kaibigan, ang ating poging kaibigan na si Josel with
Josel.
Scamwatch Pilipinas.
Right, the
Okay.
founder.
So they're part of that. And then we also onboarded JSAP, so Journalism Society Association of the Philippines.
JSAP.
Why? Because they have this vision to actually make our young journalists to be technically enabled. So, yun. And
Di ba
then,
pwedeng dagdagan ng senior yan?
ay, pwede,
Senior,
ma'am. Of
tech-savvy
course.
kami.
Oo, kasi yun
lahat
namang,
kami,
kasi yun namang
magbabangko.
Juana Tech, hindi naman natin siya binigyan ng
Ng
edad,
age,
di ba?
okay. Ayan, para
Oo,
malinaw po,
walang
sali tayo
kalakip
dyan.
yun na age.
Ayan,
di ba?
very good, miss.
Oo, yung senior, ano pa ba yung mga titos and
Elders,
titas of
titos.
Manila,
Ayan.
carry yan, ma'am, sa Juana
Ayan,
Tech.
Juana Tech.
Yes, Juana Tech.
Alright,
So we have that. So that's practically our nationwide project, no? And then on a regional I think more of global perspective, no. So the Women in Security Alliance Philippines is the country partner of GFCE. GFCE is the Global Forum for Cyber Expertise.
Wow, ang
So
laki
their
yan.
headquarters is actually in the Netherlands.
Hindi naman sa The Hague. Ay, never.
Doon nga,
Andun mismo.
sa Daig.
Ayan,
Pero
mag-aral
hindi
ka,
naman
PRRD.
katabing-katabi ng ICC. Huwag kayong mag-alala.
Para mag-aral siya doon, baka hindi siya
oo nga,
busy.
baka, di ba? Oo, yun.
Hindi, sorry.
Baka minsan mag-hi hello na lang tayo doon. So, hindi naman gano'n.
Alright.
So, basically, what we do is, well, kasama kami doon sa track ng empowering women in cyber. So, that's
Okay.
one. So, basically, we do remote education.
How long is that?
Ha?
How long?
Depende kasi doon sa doon sa
Course.
topic. Ang nakakatuwa kasi dito, yung mga tina-target natin dito would be the less developed countries.
Okay.
Yun, yung mga less developed countries, yun yung tina-target
Third world
natin.
countries,
Yes,
perhaps.
ganun. So yun yung mga tina-target natin doon na i-educate. So depende. Posible na it could be your audience could really be like talagang youth or the young ones. Pwede naman yung medyo like mga 20ish or 30ish, pero they're not really like technically enabled. So we do that. So kasama din kami dun sa policy making group.
Ba?
So, policy making group, eto medyo mahirap. Nakakakrak ng coconut shell pala. Nagkamali pala ako ng chin nung napapa-accredit kami.
Paano ba yan?
So, basically yun. Parang na-excite lang kami. Pero yun na pala yung in action, mahirap pala siya. So, basically, it's like establishing policies with regard, let's say, to cyber incident response. But really the tail end of this, 'di ba, is to put that recommendation dun sa government, no? So I mean, whoever will be the beneficiary country, so let's say the beneficiary country will be
Malaysia,
in Africa. Let's say somewhere there in Africa.
Okay.
So whoever is that or whatever country is that, then they get to actually benefit from there. So meron din tong collaboration with the cybersecurity agency of the specific country. So ayan, and then of course meron din kami for Philippine CIO Association. So on the local context, we also have PCIOA Youth.
What is that?
PCIO, Philippines
Cyber.
Chief Information Officer, CIO, mga tech leaders,
okay.
Senior Tech Leaders Association.
Good.
So meron kaming PCIOA Youth, ganon. So parang baby ko yan, kahit ako hindi na ako youth, di ba?
Pero ikaw
Ayun.
yung
So,
initiate
yeah.
yun eh.
So yan, baby ko yan. So we do partnerships or tie-ins with different academic institutions. So mostly kasi since ang perspective nito is tech, is purely technology. So it's more of advisory role, parang ganyan, being
Consultation.
experts, ano pa ba, getting speakers, etc. Yun, now at the regional level, si PCIOA kasi is the country affiliate of the ASEAN CIO. So kasi tayo
ASEAN
local, di ba? Philippine CIO Association.
Association.
But on a
Southeast
regional
Asia.
level, there's also a CIOA, which is the ASEAN CIO Association, which I myself served there since the pandemic year. So that's practically
tagal na,
like more than 3
2020.
years na.
Oo.
Ayun, ganon. So, yun naman, kumbaga, parang meron din doon a CIOA Youth wherein we implement different programs. So, it could be a program like recently, no? Meron kaming program doon that would actually enable yung mga fresh graduates who wanted to start their business, like you will do a pitch. Ginawa namin to. It was held here in the Philippines, no, in Makati. So,
Newly
you need to
graduates
do a
yan,
pitch,
okay.
'di ba? Ngayon, tapos of course, you need to like go through a certain like judging criteria, etc. So, if we feel that your pitch is really effective, 'di ba? Then you get to win a prize, and then your pitch also gets to be presented, could be in DTI, so ganun siya. So, we also try to open doors for them. And during that session, yung pitching session, meron ding mga angel investors, etc. Ganun namin siya sinet up. Because we really wanted to give this very young, business
Opportunity
entrepreneurs to
talaga.
really have the opportunity, 'di ba?
Empowering talaga, no? Pero ang tanong, may pera ba dun?
Saan mo may pera?
Ayan. sa doing that kind of a thing.
Alam mo, kasi ganito, no? Advocacy
Diba?
kasi siya.
Okay.
And then lalo na if you run a non-profit company,
NGO,
you're not really after like what you will get at the end of the day. Pero actually, we ask this as well from our lawyers, no?
Okay.
Like for example, like kami, di ba parang hello, ang dama-dama namin ginagawa. Parang do we like earn? Definitely we don't earn. But we are made, but it could have been that we could be
Compensated
entitled
how?
to certain allowances, etc. Pero there are big non-profit companies that they have monthly salary naman. Pero syempre, you cannot level off their salary with the corporate.
Iba. So, is it pwede rin mag-fund ang mga maybe foreign chambers?
Yes, or grant. Actually, meron
grant.
kami
How
Meron
is it?
kaming academic tour.
Ayan.
So, we will be co-hosting an academic tour with De La Salle Lipa. So, this is happening on January in Singapore.
Okay.
So, yan, in most cases, we will be
Grant
asking for
yan.
a grant.
Oo. And who will provide that grant?
Naku, teka lang, ma'am, hindi ko pa pwede
Oh, sige,
sabihin
no
dito.
problem.
Baka hindi
Don't
ma-approve.
divulge. Ma-preempt.
Oo, pero yun nga. So, in that sense, we will be applying for a grant.
Oo, that's good to hear. Para tuloy-tuloy, no? Mayroong sustainability. Sa'yo naman, Irene, paano yung mga youth, lalo na, you have 2 kiddos, all in, I think, Gen Z sila, di ba? Oo. How do you relate? Paano yung mga programs that you want to
Programs.
develop for them? Maybe.
Okay,
Not just your daughters, but everyone.
For my
youth.
company, since it's a woman-led company,
Yes.
so 80% of my employees are women. I'm very proud of that.
Wow,
oo.
congratulations.
I really, kasi it touched the heart
nice.
kanina when
Oh
I
my
hire.
gosh.
Very, yan sa akin.
Close to your heart.
I really would prefer, but syempre, ayaw mo naman i-discriminate yung, di ba, kasi DEI nga. But like, if 2 people, and then babae at saka lalaki, tapos isa lang yung post, same skills, I would choose
Prefer
yung
women.
female. oo. At the same time, hindi naman din kasi high-skilled yung work. It's more of packing, ganyan. Most of that, pag ganun, I would really give opportunities to
Female.
dun sa lower income classes who does not have they call it underserved now. So ito yung underserved women. So we would want to give them more
livelihood
jobs.
yun.
Yeah, livelihood. Yun yung But of course, as you scale your company, you would want more skilled na rin eventually. So that's like a lesson that I learned the hard way.
The hard way.
Yes, a very hard way. Because
Okay.
when I first started, it was very altruistic. Like, I want to help more, build the
Parang
community.
ideal,
Ganyan.
no?
Yes, very
Yun
idealistic.
pala, hindi.
And when the going gets tough, and
Yeah.
you'd want to build, of course, more skilled people. And
Hone
it
their
takes a lot of
talents.
learning. Meron naman kasi, like in my team, may ambitious naman na who's really open to learning. Then that's something na you can develop kasi nandiyan naman But of course, coming from corporate and all, it's different. And I'm also happy to share that in my small enterprise, we do support young scholars.
Wow.
And so for every
How's that?
shampoo bar sold, a portion of it, like 5 pesos, goes to this fund. We call it Awesome
galing.
Humans. Yes.
Oo.
So now we have 10
May
young
allocation.
scholars, but this is not full scholarship. It's
Sure.
just
Pangdagdag sa-
allowance, that they get
Laking bagay.
every month. Yes. So, yun siya. But of course, the goal for that is like 50, ganyan. Parang pinipicture ko talaga ng maraming bata sa likod, ganyan, graduate. Makapagpag-graduate man lang.
Right.
Yung ganyan. So,
That's a
and,
big-
yeah, yun yung so far ang sa
programs
akin
mo for
naman,
the youth.
for how I push forward being a woman, and so one of my SDGs, of course, women empowerment. So, yun yung part siya dyan.
Ako, napakabilis na ating oras. Maming konti, we're almost done. But let me ask this kay Mel ulit. You will be representing the Philippines in the Women Economic Forum ASEAN in June. That's next month.
Ninenervous ako dyan.
Wow, that's like into how many
diba?
days?
Congratulations, siya na papadala ng Pilipinas para i-represent ang buong bansa natin. So,
Wow.
tanong, what do you think is the role of women in achieving she economy?
Okay.
Hindi economy lang eh. She.
Economy. So
Okay.
basically, in the perspective of economy, we wanted to see like women leading. So one is women leading, or it could be like women doing an active role or active part wherein that contribution is very much reflective or tangible doon sa
Makikita
outcome mo
talaga.
or doon sa MVP mo, ika nga nila, 'di ba? But I guess ang kulang kasi there, and this is one of the things that I wanted to highlight during the forum, no.
What?
Yung development ng role models. 'Di ba? Kasi like let's say local context, 'di ba? Or sabihin natin within ASEAN perspective. Parang we look up, parang meron tayong idol, 'di ba? Parang ganun tayo, 'di ba? So like for example, a celebrity, 'di ba? So let's say gustong-gusto mo, let's say si Anne, let's say si Ann Curtis or whatever, 'di ba? Or let's say sino pa ba yung isa, Catherine Bernardo. So kumbaga parang ine-emulate mo 'di ba? Kung ano yung ginagawa nila. So I guess in terms of empowering women, at some point ganun din, 'di ba? So we needed like role models, na yung role models na alam mo yon, that they can really reach out, and role models who would really have the bandwidth with to really understand them and support them. So I think that's one of the things na nakikita kong kulang. I won't tackle na on education, etc. because I mean we've discussed that immensely already a while ago.
So we're looking forward to that. Pagbalik mo, you tell us what you really shared, kung na-achieve mo nga yung sinasabi mo to tell everybody. Well, not so much on education, ito na to empower talaga. So Miss Irene, your message of hope, ano ang gusto mo sabihin para sa ating kababaihan? Not to give up, not to waste their time. Every single minute counts.
Okay, so my message to all the women listeners, sa ating mga fellow kababayan, wag atubiling gamitin ang inyong boses bilang babae. You have a voice and you can use it, and yung boses mo may power behind it. So you're a woman and you're very powerful, and I've learned this, how powerful a woman can be. So tap into that. Just use your voice. And no is a sentence.
No is a sentence?
It's a complete sentence. So
Okay.
It's
just
actually
use
a powerful one.
Yes, learn how to
very.
say it.
Okay. Learn how to say it. No. No, everything. Again, is that the KNOW?
No, the N-O.
Yes, the NO.
Kasi ako naman, I always say, you have to learn, you have to know the truth. The truth will set each one of us free. So,
Yes.
kasama na rin. Kasound naman niya. No and N-O. Alright, thank you sa ating mga nakasama for today. And I'm so empowered. I have to tell you this. Ngayon, I learn something new every day. At ito na nga, I will implement ng konti. Kung kaya ko yung skills ni Miss Mel at ng gano'ng kalakas din ang loob ni Miss Irene. Pag pinagsama mo, empowerment talaga yan. So, thank you. This is not the last. You will hear from them very soon. So, we're working on it. Work in progress. So, pray for it na matuloy yun ang aming trio tandem very soon so that you guys will be empowered. Di po ba? So, thank you sa ating naking kaagapay, Engineer Aldrin, nakita ko si Jem at si June. At susunod na po, Life Balance with Daryl Justin and Gia Rafael. As I always say, keep God first in every area of our lives so He will direct our path. God bless everyone. Happy weekend.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong Na Bayan sa DWIZ 882. Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best.
This is the news and